Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a episode that's going to be full of guests, schedule releases. The commissioner, that's not a big dude, anyways. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the 2026 NAL schedule release show. I am Jim Rieta, the host of Inside the Walls. Alongside me for the first part of the show, the commissioner of the National Arena League. I almost called you the head coach of the National Arena League, but the commissioner of the National Arena League, Brent Ikard. How are you doing, Coach?
I'm doing good, Jim. Thanks. You get the coach out of the system. You got so many on tonight. That's all you're thinking about.
I got list of people. It's crazy how much I got on today's show. Well, we decided to do something a little different this year. What we did it last year with the previous regime about doing theme shows for schedule releases, but we wanted to do something unique because we had a busy week last week. We've had content galore with home game introductions. Some of the fans already see the taste of the games that we've already announced. But big week last week. So what's the status? Welcoming Southwest Kansas and Salina to the National Arena League.
It's great. It's a great addition to the league. I mean, obviously spoke about it at both their press conferences. It fits the footprint, fits the business model. And I know that most people think the business model is a certain thing, but that is the footprint. That's the viability of the league. Letting people know that, we're growing the right way with the right organizations, two professional organizations, which is the key, two great additions to the league just to help us grow even more. So I think it's a really good season. And let's be honest, it's not just adding two great teams, it's adding talent, the talent of those organizations that they're going to bring. So you're going to get good games all around. And I'm excited for people to see the schedule we've got just because it's going to bring back some good games. There's no gimme games in this season.
Well, talking about Salina and Southwest Kansas, they're bringing in postseason pedigree. So if you think they're going to be easy wins, especially for the teams that are in the NAL right now, they could be easy wins. I don't think so. Salina and Southwest Kansas, they're going to be a challenge, especially how the schedule fits for a certain team in Nebraska. There's going to be some epic matchups throughout the season for just Southwest and Salina, of course. If you haven't looked at the transactions wire, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know what's cooking in Colorado, but both those teams are getting some dudes. So I expect that to be a interesting matchup. But commission, we created a schedule. What games do you think, as a commissioner, you really circle down? I really want to attend. Well, you don't have to attend games anyways. That's your job title. But which ones are you looking forward to actually going to this year?
I mean, obviously, I wasn't a part of anything with previous leagues, previous stuff where these teams matched up. But you go with the obvious ones. You go with, obviously, the rivalries that you have, which is I didn't get to make it to one of these last year, which is your old school Sioux City, Omaha. They have that. And then, obviously, any of the rivalries where you're bringing Salina in, obviously, Southwest Kansas in. But some of the other ones, I'm really, really interested in going out to Pueblo. I'd like to be there, and I'm more than likely will be there for that opener that we've already posted, so I'm not giving any spoilers here for that Colorado clash. Just to see that. I mean, that's a great organization that we've got in Colorado. And then Pueblo being there, obviously, as a new franchise, they are super excited about it in the city and everything. When I was there, they couldn't stop talking about it. I mean, that's been, 2 months when I went for the presser, and it's just not slowed down. So I'm excited to go see what they do, obviously, in Pueblo. And then Amarillo coming back. I haven't been to Amarillo in probably 2 years. So obviously, besides the presser, but for a game, they have a great product there. I want to see what they do. And then Dallas coming in. I mean, it's big market team. I mean, they're going to have a big market situation. So whether I'm at the Dallas, obviously with what they're doing at the Fair Park Coliseum or Arena, or seeing them against, obviously, the Louisiana team, that's going to be a great matchup either way. And then with what they're working on, obviously, new transition of ownership, Louisiana, going to be a good opportunity there. Going to see a different style or different concept of what they're looking to do as far as their organization. I mean, I truly think that I'm going to have a good chance to see some really good football and some great owners who put on a good show for their fans. So I would say any of them that I could make it to are going to be the good ones. It's just picking out the best matchups, rivalries, and not just going to a game to say you go to a game.
Well, you got some interesting matchups. And also, usually rivalries are not just, we're going to put a title on this and we're going to force it to be rivalry. Something has to happen to create certain rivalries. We might get rivalries that we didn't expect at the end of the year. Like, man, these two teams are going to match up because we can build up storylines for this season from last year's results. Like, no one thought Colorado was going to be one of the most physical teams in the NAL last year. And then they found the quarterback late in the year with Sale. They were a threat, gave Omaha a challenge. No one expected Beaumont to do what Beaumont did last year. there are going to be question marks entering this season. You don't know who's going to be the top dog come season, and we expect the big names, but that's because of their brand and how long they existed in the sport. You don't know who will pop up, and if you look at the transactions of the players being signed, there might be another team out there that no one's talking about that's going to be this year's. Oh, do you expect that?
Absolutely. I mean, you never expect anything. I know last year I got in, and Chris is in the chat here. I see him, and I got a little bit of heat last year when you guys all talked about it, and all the or the podcasts were like, "Hey, these are my ratings," and I was like, "You can't rate anything before the season.
Yeah.
You just can't do it." So I can't say that I expect team A or B to be a great team because you don't know until you strap them up. It changes every year. You'll turn your roster over. You'll keep some. You'll change some. But every year they're trying to get better. And those teams as expansion teams or new franchises, or even like obviously in Louisiana with everything that's going on there, it's a new organization coming in. So they're going to put their stamp on what they want, which is not what's expected. Their coaching staffs are going to have new schemes and everything out there so that you're going to have to learn what their coaches do because there's no history of what they've done. You can't just sit back and say, well, I know that, no offense, Coach Negron. Coach Negron runs this offense. You can't do that. You just have to learn as you go.
Correct. Well, there's interesting matchups, but before we let you go, I got coaches lined up in the green screen, ladies and gentlemen. That's my issue.
Right.
What happens with this episode, I got like 9 of them lining up. So, what's the future the next couple of weeks? What's next step for the National Marine League?
We've been doing this all along the offseason. We got a couple new announcements that'll come out. We've got one next week that we'll get into. I'll probably pop back on with you next week just to drop that announcement and get some reactions. And then over the next, I would say 3 or 4 weeks, it's just going to be slowly rolling out some of the new things we want. Obviously, letting the fans see the future of what the NAL is going to look like and building the brand so that it makes for a good product for our fans and everyone enjoys what's going on.
Well, my screen. Internet issues. I do apologize. That's my end. That's me. I have the highest speed internet of all high speed internets, and it craps out. Go figure, right? But anyways, coming up next, how we're going to do the process. Coach Solo of the Punishers will be up first as we reveal the Punishers schedule. Commissioner will be on probably next week for another show, so more news from the National Marine League. And I know the fans are lining up. The chat's blowing up. We have over 100 on live. Well, let's get going to the schedule reveal. Commish, appreciate it. It only took me a whole segment to finally call you Commish, but hey, that's how we do it sometimes.
It's all right.
But with that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll go on to the schedule reveal, what you guys have been waiting for all week. Thank you, Commish. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, guys.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and well, his screen's a little dark because he's mobile, and that's Solo for the Pueblo Punishers. Coach, I don't know, you're switching territories, but knowing your title and what you've done last year, #1 scoring offense in the National Marine League, the MVP was under your helm, and you won a title. Now you're bringing that to Colorado and Pueblo for the Punishers. How you doing? How's everything doing? How's the offseason treating you so far after winning that championship last year?
Man, it's been a blessing. Can't complain. Enjoyed the moment in Beaumont. Enjoyed that championship run. Off season's been fun. Still in football, coaching the Pee Wee kids, coaching my son. So I'm still enjoying football. Still football season for me.
That's one thing about coaches. You can take them away from football, but the football won't take them away. So you're stuck.
There you go.
So,
Coach, stuck with it.
We'll have you on later in the season to break down more of your organization and team operations, but we got to reveal the schedule for your Punishers and what can be brought and what you can bring as a coach to them. Let me pull up the screen because, when you need technology, it doesn't work when you need it. Here we go, the schedule for your
It's gonna be nice.
Well, let's.
Okay.
And there is the
Okay.
2024 schedule. Week 1, you open up with the
Yeah.
Spartans. Week 2, you travel to the Omaha Beef, followed by Week 3, home against the Dallas Bulls. Then Week 4, home against the Sioux City Bandits. You've had some interesting matchups with them last year, some high-scoring affairs.
Yeah.
Also, you travel to Salina, home against Louisiana, bye week, then the Bandits again. And that second half of the schedule, a little bit of road test, a little battle challenge. Hopefully, you get those early wins at home and cruise in the second half of the season. And you wrap it up with the Warbirds in, was it South Motors? Yep, Southwest Motors Event Center. Coach, look at the schedule to the fans. Come on, there's some games you want to say, ooh, I like this one. And what is? What's the game that spot that comes out for you, Coach?
Man, out the back, you know what I'm saying? You already know what time it is. It's a class of the Colorado team. We in Colorado now. They've been in Colorado, so it's gonna be a in-state rival. We looking forward to it, and I know our owner, Miss Lisa, she got some love, hate, whatever you want to call it, towards the Spartans. You know what I'm saying? She was over there for a little bit, so I know she's very excited about that, along with myself and JT and Brooke. So it's gonna be fun to open up with them. And then, Omaha is Omaha. You know what I'm saying? They have the standard in this league, and playing them twice last year, I know what type of environment it's gonna be. Whether we played them twice at home, it's just the fact that both games were high intensity. So I already know what to expect from them. And like you say, Sioux City is Sioux City. I know what I'm gonna get from them. Go ahead.
I was going to say, a few things about them, especially from last year, how
Yeah.
both teams were last year. It was epic games where you clashed with the Bandits last year. So, yeah.
No, it was. So both games came down to the last play. First time was on defense. We got a pick. The next time, Carl found Josh Neal in the back of the end zone for a game winner. So both games was high intense and came down to the last wire. So I know it's going to be another good game, good battle with those guys. But, man, just, having Salina in the league, having Coach O'Neal back in the league, having the opportunity to coach against him again, it's gonna be gonna be fun. He's a great guy. I know he's a Hall of Fame coach, so it's gonna be interesting him lining up. You know what I'm saying? So it's gonna be a lot of fun. Like you said, it's gonna be some talent. It's a lot of talent now.
It's going to be some talent, and I think you're going to bring that mentality to the Punishers from last year because me and the commissioner spoke in previous. No one talked about the Beaumont like they were championship contenders. We had you on the show last year, and you were like, we're doing what we want to do, one game at a time. You guys dominated last year, won the championship. I think you're gonna bring that mentality because wherever you've gone as a coach, you've won. So
Yeah, my first year in Wichita, I'm gonna say I had a decent season. We didn't make the playoffs, but we won. You know what I'm saying? And then here in Beaumont, um, we put a season together and we had a nice group of guys. So, like I say, it's gonna be the same with me. I'm gonna bring the same coaching intensity, the same mindset. Go in and teach the guys the best I can to get them. We starting ahead of time, to get them going with the offense, with the playbook. So when we get in the camp, we're going. I tell guys all the time, be in game shape for camp. Be in game shape. So when we get there, we get going. And
Coach,
we full swing.
Coach, do you have any tryouts coming up, and where can the players reach out to you about these tryouts, and who can they call to take information?
Tryouts will be October the 18th in Pueblo, Colorado. So you can go to our Facebook page or our Instagram page, and you can find all that information on there. I think it starts at 8 to 12. I want to say East High School. I'm not exactly for sure, but you got to go on our website or go on to Instagram or Facebook, like I said, and you can get all that information. Ticket sales and all that. It's also on Facebook. Miss Lisa's information, our owner, her information is on there as well.
Coach, appreciate you joining to the Punisher fan base. You know your schedule. Go get your tickets now because there's some epic matchups, especially with the team in state that plays a little north of you guys. That's going to be an intriguing matchup. Appreciate it, Coach. Be well. Go coach like you're doing right now. That's
Man,
the
be
joy
blessed,
of the
man.
sport.
You take care. Yes,
Thank
sir.
you. That was the Punishers, and let's bring in the other individual. He is first time in the National Arena League. He's coming off back-to-back postseason appearances and runs. He has coached, his team has coached and brought in many awards as Rookie of the Year last year, Assistant Coach of the Year, and Defensive Player of the Year for the Southwest Kansas Storm. Gary Thomas. Coach, welcome to the Schedule Review Show, and welcome to the National Arena League.
Appreciate it on both accounts. Nice to be here.
Well, I know there's a lot of questions, and I guarantee a lot of fans want to know. You had the mentality last year. Your team was scrappy, won big time games, was competitive, made the postseason run. You gonna bring that this year in the National Arena League?
I've forgotten a lot of things in my life, but we've never forgotten to bring physicality, and we are never late for that party. So that's kind of just been a staple of everywhere I've ever been, and we've always just kind of been the underdog, in even throughout my college career, and our way to kind of even the playing field was to be super organized and as physical as we could be in every aspect of the game. So that mantra has never changed, and that recipe usually is pretty consistent and usually leads to some wins.
Well, you've won a lot, especially last year. I watched a couple of your games last year, and there's a certain team that played in the upper Northeast that they didn't like playing you because you gave them a pain. Because that's your coaching ability, and I expect that fully well to come in here and rekindle some old rivalries, especially with the Sioux City Bandits and the Omaha Beef. So I expect that hatred to get back into the game. So no further ado, ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2026 schedule for the Southwest Kansas Storm. And there we go, the Southwest Kansas Storm. To the fan, just had a question in the chat about the bye weeks. Just FYI, ladies and gentlemen, there will be non-league games. So go to your team's website to see if there's any additional home games. We do not know when those games are, but they usually be in the bye week. So make sure if you get tickets, there might be an extra game in there, just giving you a heads up. And week 1's a bye week. Week 2 on the road against the Rougaroux, but home opener, 3-game road homestand against the Beef, Spartans, and Bandits. And then you get back on the road against Amarillo, Liberty, and the Bulls. When you look at this schedule, Coach, what stands out to you? What are you looking forward to? I know every coach has said the first game, but what game stands out to you, especially with the schedule?
Yeah, there was 4 that kind of jumped off the screen for me. When I saw it, obviously the first one, and that'll just because we're the new guys here. It's a new challenge in a new place, place I've never been in the state of Louisiana, but probably not where they're going to play at. So that one just getting the nerves out and getting into a new environment with a different set of rules. So that one kind of obviously is probably goes without saying. The second one is the first home game, first time that our fans will get to see us, and that's against the Beef, who've been in this building quite a few times over the years, but just an opportunity to play in front of our home fans. The third one that kind of jumped out to me was having the opportunity to go down to Amarillo. I'm a graduate of West Texas A&M, right down the street basically, and just getting back into that part of the country again. It's don't get down there much, so that'll just be kind of a cool welcome home for me. And then obviously an opportunity to play the Salina Liberty again. Coach O'Neill and I have played each other, which seems like 100 times in the last 2 years, and they're all down to the wire, and they're all close games, and I imagine they'll continue to be the same. And they always are great from the fan experience, and I know he's going to bring organization. I know he's going to bring a high level of football, and it's just something you always have to get up for. You know what you're walking into when you're playing a Coach O'Neill football team.
Well, travel doesn't stink either. They're literally just up the street, because we know in this industry sometimes traveling gets difficult at times, but when it's just basically just down the street, I wonder why you guys played a lot. It's just an easy come and go matchups, and of course O'Neill's a legend. He's been the whole sport for longer than I think I've been a fan of it. That's how long he's been in it. But one of the games that really stands out to me in this is it's not the rematch. Everyone wants to hype up the Omaha game. The one I would like to see is we don't know certain teams like Amarillo and the Rougaroux, especially right off the bat. But I like to see if Southwest, develops maybe like that little, you could say, rivalry with closer teams, like probably like Colorado. But I like to see your style versus Coach Shaw's style, because I've watched Coach Shaw over the years. I think that game would be an epic matchup to watch between you and Colorado.
I hope so too. We're walking into something new. I mean, X's and O's are X's and O's.
Correct.
We'll do what we're comfortable with. We'll probably copy some things. We'll invent some things that people probably haven't seen before, and so it'll, it's going to be what it's going to be. But we're excited to do something different. We spent 2 years playing a certain style of football, and this is just something new. It's a new challenge for me as an offensive mind to see a lot more on the defensive side, multiple coverages and the ability to, try to confuse the quarterback a little bit better. And that's the attraction of the indoor game, as it's the closest thing to mimicking the outdoor game. So, you're going to get a robust run game. You're going to get, a lot of outdoor concepts, because you're going to see, in my opinion, a higher percentage of zone coverage than you would see in a different style of football. So, again, that's going to bring new challenges and exciting challenges, and just kind of relight the fire a little bit inside of me to put my mind to it and create something that hopefully is a good product for our fans in the league and obviously our franchise.
But speaking of fans, where can they reach out for ticket information, possibly future players, any tryouts in the near future coming from the Southwest Kansas Storm?
So we're not a big tryout team, and a lot of that has just been our location. I have a hard time asking people to get themselves to Dodge City, Kansas, when they could just very easily send me the film. I'm all for diamonds in the rough, and we've had a lot over the years, but I've put 20 plus guys in the NFL. I've got the leading receiver in the Canadian League. I've got the offensive player of the year in the USFL. I trust my eyeballs and what the film tells me. As far as evaluating and my ability to develop guys. So, if guys are interested in our organization, they can absolutely send us an email at any point in time through the website. As far as ticket sales, United Wireless Arena, we'll have those up and running here probably by Thanksgiving, I was told. But you can reach out to the owners through the website. You can reach out to the information email. You can reach out to the sales team once those things are up and live. Which I know they're moving in that direction right now.
Well, we know this sport, it's selling season right now, trying to get people to buy tickets. So the season is smooth. But Coach, appreciate you coming on. I know it's just we'll get you on in an episode here. We'll just Southwest Kansas Storm episode. We'll bring some players on and introduce some players to give the NAL fans more in-depth inside look at what the Southwest Kansas Storm have in store for this season.
Sounds good. Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Take care.
Well, I don't really know how we're going to do the introduction to this next gentleman. Because if you think of the Warbirds, you think of this guy because he's been associated with his organization, I don't know, longer since the NAL has been involved. He was one of the individuals that reached out to me to be a part of the show a couple of weeks ago. We had him on the show. But hey, let's no further ado. Let's bring in the guy. He is a household name, you could say, in Amarillo. His experience, he's been with the Warbirds since the inception from multiple leagues. And if you look at who he's been signing, it looks like he is developing a Warbird super team. No further ado, Coach Blakely. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing fine. How about yourself?
Well, it's a lovely Tuesday evening here on the East Coast. Schedule reveal. And we have you on. Ready to break down your 2026 schedule.
Oh, yeah.
I see. You need to be more enthusiastic for that. Come on now.
Well, I'm ready. I'm super excited. Just
super excited. You sound like someone that needs a cup of coffee or I need to go to bed type of mentality. That's what sounds like you're borderline to that.
I already had enough coffee for today. Waiting on this to reveal our schedule to our community. So I'm excited.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, here are the Warbirds 2026 schedule. Warbird Nation, you can say that is a balanced schedule. We've seen schedules so far where you have 3 straight home games, 3 straight road games, and you have a little balanced schedule. Kicks off week 1 in Louisiana, but you're home. They actually rekindle a historical rival between the Sioux City Bandits. This is dating back to years between the two cities. That's week 2 on March 13th through the 15th weekend. They got the bye weeks. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I mentioned before, bye weeks. There could be some non-league games in there, so just keep updated with your local websites of your favorite team to see if they do have extra games. So you might get an extra game to go to this season. Now, of course, you get back on the home against the Louisiana Rouxgaroux, travel on the road back-to-back to the Bulls and the Spartans, and you get another matchup against historical rivals in the Southwest Kansas Storm, but it used to be Dodge City back in the day. So you have a couple of rekindle, especially the back end. That back in that schedule, Omaha, Sioux City, and the Liberty and the Punishers at the end. That May schedule looks daunting there, Coach, but a nice balanced schedule. Warbird Nation, how you feeling about your 2026 schedule?
I'm excited. It's a couple of coaches that I faced in the in the AF1. I had to get to face again. And it's a couple of guys I get to face that I haven't faced. So I'm super excited. I'm ready to go.
You're still enthusiastic. Come on, you definitely need some coffee, my coach. Come on now.
No, this is me all the time until game day. I'm excited to play everybody. It's not one game that I specifically want to play. I want to play everybody. I think we're gonna be ready to go. I got a good squad. I'm expecting some things from a couple of people, but we're gonna be ready to go.
Well, again, you got some of the rekindle matchups against the Sioux City Bandits on week 2 and week 10, the Omaha Beef on week 9. And you have the Battle for Texas, only one game against the Dallas Bulls on week 5. The tickets will be available at Amarillo Civic Center, is where the Warbirds will play. And for more information, AmarilloWarbirds.com. And Coach, I do know you have a tryout camp that's scheduled. Can you inform the fans and future players that want to be able to get to the tryout to try and make the squad for your Warbirds?
Tickets go on sale October 1st.
Okay.
Tickets will be going on sale October 1st. We have trials October 18th. Still looking to fill a couple more spots. So come on out. Start at 9 at Sam Houston Middle School, 9 to 12. Come on out and showcase your talent. I'm still looking for a couple more guys. Roster's not full. I'm looking to fill it up through the tryout. Come join. It's gonna be exciting. It's gonna be real exciting, I promise.
You don't want me to come join. It'd be like an open house, and that'd be too many people.
No, I can't have that many.
Yeah. I think we have roster limits here, Coach. I don't know. I don't want to, let the secret out, but we do have roster limits.
Yes, it is a limit. It is a limit. But I can honestly say I have 4 slots open for 4 more guys. So I'm looking for 4 more guys to fill the roster up for camp. So
with that, ladies and gentlemen, remember, visit the AmarilloWarbirds.com for more information. Their social media is popping, by the way. I actually disconnected the wrong thing. Sorry, Coach. My bad. Don't want to disconnect you. The Warbirds social media is just straight popping off. So follow them on all social media: Facebook, Instagram, X, maybe TikTok. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok.
Not yet. Working on it, but not yet. Working on it.
I heard a rumor that TikTok's here to stay, so there might be other TikToks opening up pretty soon. Just FYI. But Coach, I appreciate it. Get some rest or drink some coffee. I don't know what you're doing right now. You have a beautiful home, by the way.
If my home looked like that, it is beautiful. Appreciate it. Thank you for having me.
Appreciate it, Coach. With that, ladies and gentlemen, we'll be back after this short little break, and we head up to one part of the I-29 rivalry as the Sioux City Bandits. We'll be back after this. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. And, well, for you Sioux City Bandit fans, and of course the Omaha Beef fans, they will know this individual. 7 years with the organization. No, how can I introduce you? You've been in the league for a long time. You've played football. You've coached for the Bandits. No other than Coach Lobban. How you doing, Coach?
I'm doing well, man. How about you, Jim?
It's a Tuesday. I'm doing well. How's everything going in Sioux City? I see you guys bringing back some, well, again, some guys who played with the Bandits for years. It seems like that's a tradition in Sioux City. Just keep bringing back the contributors from previous season. Looks like you signed some good players so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously everything's in works right now. We got a few guys that are, coming in that new faces, new place. Obviously, some older guys that have been there before, but looking for the best roster to compete for a championship. So, still got our board open for a lot of opportunities out there for some guys, and I know it's not complete yet. We'll come drawing to an end here soon, but it's open right now. We got some vets. We got some guys that are young guys. We got some guys that's been in other leagues. We got a lot of different opportunities out there right now.
Well, you've been in the organization for a few years. I know you guys do tryouts. I haven't seen anything on social media. Is there tryouts coming up in the near future for the Bandits?
Yeah, with us being so close to several local schools in the Siouxland area and just up and down I-29, we typically try to wait, towards the end of that first college season and some of those, later college ending dates so we can get those guys out there. Believe it or not, we probably leave approximately 7 to 8 roster spots open for tryouts. Being I was an open tryout guy and nobody would ever believe 14 years later I'm the defensive coordinator. I'm doing what I do from an open tryout. So we take that serious, and we're working on some dates now, speaking with Brad and Irv and the rest of our team to try to figure out what's going to be a best plan. But we tend to wait it out just because we want to see what some of these colleges have, and may end early and may go later. So we try to blend the two of them.
Well, the schedule reveal show. I know there's a little rivalry between some team down south on I-29. We won't mention that rivalry much, but again, you hate each other for 2 days out of the year, but 2 organizations that actually work together very well. Before you even reveal, what games are you thinking you want to face? Who you think is going on the schedule, and who you're looking forward to if they're on your schedule?
Well, I mean, I got to see that we're on the road right away. And Amarillo, believe it or not, I believe Amarillo got the best of us the last time we were down there. It was a shootout. If they're playing in the same arena, we got to have kick different. You got to do different things. It's a longer tunnel. I still remember, and that was a while ago. I remember, different. It was a different venue, so advantage to them. But we'll come rolling in, and I recall tumbleweeds rolling in, coming west of Texas or wherever we're going. I remember, so I know that's the first one on our schedule. Obviously, our mindset is 1-0, whether that's on the field or off the field. So, whatever else after that is whatever else.
Well, speaking of your schedule, hopefully you do enjoy your travel boots for your season because, well, Sioux City Bandits fans, here's your schedule for 2026. And the season starts week 2. Again, Amarillo, you mentioned, but we do know that there is a non-league game in between the start of the year, so there will be a home game before an actual road game. But the first official home game for the 2026 season is home against Salina in week 7, April 17th through the 20th. So you're going to be road warriors early in the season, and hopefully you're home dogs when you're home at the end, because that's when you start, you steal some wins on the road and, hold home field at home. Some big time matchups. So the people who are listening on the podcast platform, they open up week 2 on the road in Amarillo, week 4 at the Punishers, week 5 Beef, week 6 at the Southwest Kansas Storm. Then they're home against Salina, then home against the Punisher in week 8. Bye week, home against Amarillo. Week 10, Week 11, home against the Beef. At Salina, Week 12, and wrapping up the season at home against Southwest Kansas. Coach, your opinion about your schedule?
It's a lot of road. It's a lot of road up front. Obviously, it is what it is. Week at a time, and we'll try to knock them off as they come up. I mean, obviously, our fans are going to be anxious to see what we have. So, whatever we put together for the preseason game, I'm pretty sure that'll be a good opportunity for our fans to see some of our guys that are coming in and some of the familiar faces as well. But of course, road, get a lot of road and a lot of road. Get your sleeping pillows ready and whatever it looks like. I would tell our guys, because we believe in working before you go to work, get your schedules right and let's plan for some long weekends.
Get your schedules right. Make sure your phones are charged, and hopefully you'll enjoy a couple of long movies, because those are some trips to go for. But again, of course, 2 games pop up on the schedule. The I-29 rivalry, the longest continuous rivalry in the indoor game, on Week 5 and Week 11 against the Omaha Beef. And you guys renewed rivalries with the Salina Liberty and the Southwest Kansas Storm. Those 4 matchups, Week 6, Week 7, Week 12, and Week 13. So a lot of reunions, and of course, there's some teams in there that could cause some issues for some organizations. I don't know. We don't know. Remember last year, Coach, we didn't know about Beaumont, and they made some noise. There could be teams in the schedule that could, and it could be the Sioux City Bandits this year. We don't know there, Coach.
Yeah, it's a lot of parity going on, and obviously a lot of coaching staffs put some things together, and there's just some remarkable guys in here. Coach Heron O'Neal is one of my favorite guys when we're not going against each other. Obviously, Coach Brandon got a good thing going on. I don't know much about Southwest's coach, but from what I've researched, he's done pretty well in the years he's been there. I know Coach Tremaine down there has got a good history of, getting some guys together and putting some pieces to the puzzle and making it work. But I don't know if he's been a head coach or similar to me, just a, assistant coach and kind of let it fall on someone else's shoulders. But this time it could fall on his shoulders. Right now Irv's letting me do the interview because this will fall on my shoulders, I believe.
Oh, so you're the fall guy now.
Yeah. Somebody has to take the fall.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining on this episode, and I do apologize to the fans with the internet situation. It's out of my control. I do apologize on that. But I appreciate you joining the show today, Coach.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you.
Well, the next team, let's just say this coach has been in the NAL for 5 seasons. He pretty much had one of the most physical teams last year. Had a team that was number 1 in defensive rankings for lost yards and sacks. He also led one of the most impressive offenses in 2004 with quarterbacks like Jason Whitaker. And he also had guys who thought they were done become miracle workers with Robert Kent Jr. with his stay when he coached for the San Antonio Gunslingers. No further ado, for your Colorado Spartans, Coach Fred Shaw. Coach, welcome.
How you doing?
I'm doing good, Coach. I know the schedule's coming out. You are currently coaching, like most of our guys are doing right now. They're coaching, coaching while coaching. But how are you doing, Coach?
I'm blessed, man. I'm happy to be here, and it's always a good time to see you. So,
last time we've met, I remember the quote you says, like, next time when you do the stand rankings, make sure you watch Week 1. That's that happened in the Wheeling Arena after the Wheeling game in Week 1.
Yes, sir.
But Coach, I know last year some epic clashes with the Omaha Beef, some good games, especially leading to the end of the year. Some matchups is against Sioux City, but a new foe in the state of Colorado, just down the street, Week 9 and Week 1, the Colorado clash between the Pueblo Punishers. Where you're looking forward to a new friend in the state of Colorado.
Yeah, I was listening in earlier, man, when Coach Solo said Miss Lisa had something, something against us. But actually, it's all love our way. It's all love. We're happy, that we have another team in the state, and it's going to be a good time. But you best believe that we'll be ready to play.
Well, I know one thing. If we do preseason rankings, I'm not keeping you out of the top 5 again.
Hey, I actually enjoy it, man. I love being at the bottom. We look forward to it. We have something to build on.
Well, with that, Coach, let's get your schedule for the 2026 season as you guys actually first week you travel on the road, but again, home games are at the Denver Coliseum in Denver, Colorado. So when tickets are available, you know where to go there, fans. And again, my bad with the technology. It's not me, it's the internet. Here's the schedule. There we go.
It's not bad.
Not bad at all. Week
Bad at
one.
all.
Week 1, you travel down to Pueblo to take on the Punishers. Week 2, you go to Dallas. Week 3, bye week. Week 4 at Salina. Week 5 at Southwest Kansas Storm. Then you're finally home week 6. Kind of similar to last year's schedule there, Coach. You guys were on the road the first couple of weeks, had a bye week, and you pulled off like 4 straight wins because there were 4 home games. Home games against the Warbirds, Beef, bye week, Punishers, and Bulls to wrap up. Which I know you're looking for week 1, but what pops up for you right off the bat?
Just like you said, man, week 1, we're going to take a game at a time. We're not going to overlook Pueblo. Those guys are going to come ready, like I said, and we'll be ready too as well. And, just making the Dallas trip, I'm familiar with that area. It's going to be a lot of family and friends there, to support the Spartans. So that's going to be exciting. But week 1 is what we're looking forward to. And like I said, we don't look any farther than that.
That's, again, how to motivate Coach Saul. Don't rank him, and he'll actually go on the road and prove why his team and your team as a team went on throughout the season. Man, any other year you guys would have won the championship. That's how good you were last year, and you were 2 years ago. It was like carbon copy when you were in San Antonio. You started off slow, then at the end of the year you caught on fire and started winning. The last 2 years, you basically continue it. You made the postseason last year, and now you're in this season with new foes. I think right now it's championship or bust. Is that the mentality I'm getting from you, Coach?
100%. That's why it's 1 week at a time. I've been in this league for 5 years now. And I haven't beat Omaha in the past 2 years. So once again, if you want to be great, beat the greats. So I look forward to this season. I'm more excited than ever that I've ever been coaching in football. And like I said, come week 1, everybody in the National Arena League will understand where the Colorado Spartans stand.
Well, Coach, I appreciate you joining today's episode. Go. You're going coaching, so don't want to hold you up. Who you coaching? Your JV team or?
So I coach. I coach in Oklahoma City.
Coach,
I help
go
out.
Get more parents. Go get the future players of our league.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will.
Go ahead.
But November the 9th, we'll host our first workout, and we'll look forward to seeing a bunch of players there. So I just wanted to make sure we get that out there right now. So November the 9th, be looking for the first workout in Colorado.
Appreciate it, Coach. Much respect, and go out there and do what you do. Hopefully you get the win because you're winning the NAL. I think you win in the outdoor game too there. So appreciate you coming on. And for all updated information of the Colorado Spartans, remember to visit colorado-spartans.com or visit their social media at Colorado Spartans NAL on all their platforms. Coach, appreciate it. You go do what you do best, and let's go win games, and we'll see you for the NAL season.
All right, Jim. See you. Appreciate you.
Right. Appreciate it. Well, we're going to have a special edition because he's in the green screen, and, well, I think Brandon will do the honors for the Dallas Bulls. The Dallas organization is currently having other scheduled events. They couldn't make it. So let's bring in the commissioner again to break down the Dallas Bulls schedule because why not? He's in the green screen, so he's doing double duty today. Let's bring in the schedule for the 2026 Dallas Bulls. Commish, you helped design the schedule, and I know the organization, the The Dallas Bulls are playing in Fair Park Coliseum, which is the Cotton Bowl area, the original Cotton Bowl area, if I'm correct, is where the Fair Park Coliseum is out. Schedule, there's a certain matchup that is going to be, I don't know the title we officially gave it, but it sounds like the Roux and the Bulls will have a familiar highway that's connected with each other, so a little ties with that. 3-game series against the Rougaroux as well. They open up their season at home against the Spartans in Fair Park Coliseum. And, of course, you have at the Punishers, home against the Warbirds, at the Roux, at the Beef, then a back-heavy home slate with the Storm, Rougaroux, and Punishers. Imaginary coach. You're the imaginary coach there.
Back to Coach Jim.
Yeah. Go ahead. Oh, when you doing the schedule, what do you think games that stand out for the Bulls?
Well, I know I talked to Doc earlier. They're getting ready for State Fair, obviously, so they've got a lot going on, and that's a big time for anybody that has those kind of amounts of fans that could be in front of them. But when I talked to him, I mean, the big thing, obviously, is he's joked with Keith over in Louisiana. They got their little rivalry, so that's a big one for them. I mean, that's a huge one in that situation. It's, 3.5 hours, I believe, is max. I know Blair's coming on here in a minute. He can talk about that more. So that's a big one. I like the fact of seeing them staying and being able to figure out who's the best team in Texas. That's a personal thing. I mean, we've got 2 right there. So you've got them and the Warbirds figuring that out. But, I mean, for Dallas, let's be honest, and most of the people that are watching, your biggest things you're going to have to say, hey, what are you going to come out of the gate with? I mean, Colorado 1 game away from the championship last year. I mean, literally, I think, what was it, a deuce maybe away? I mean, it was, they'd had home field for that game and everything. So it's crazy how everything ends and the teams that are coming back again. Could be completely different teams. We know that. But obviously with Tony and Coach Shaw, they put a good product together out there. So I think that's going to be a good test for them as soon as the season starts to literally just have to play those guys. I mean, that's a great first game for them.
First game, I know, again, is the Dallas. This is one of the question mark teams. We don't know what they're going to be because we don't know what the vision of the organization is, and it will be as offseason progresses, we'll see what the organization does with signing players and how they go. But a daunting task. I know we had a question pop up of why so many bye weeks. It's because of the 9-team league, and some of these teams do have built-in non-league filled games to fill the spots, so there could be additional home games for the fans. I do know that for more information on the Dallas Bulls, visit dallasbulls.com or visit their social media at Dallas Bulls. It's very easy, very simple. Because this is a short segment, thank you for the fill-in.
Well, I'll say, Jim, I know that Doc wanted me to let people know they're going to have a workout. I'm doing the plug for them. They're going to have a workout October 25th. So they are planning one. If anybody in the Dallas area is interested, that'll be out probably on their socials and everything else coming soon. But they're definitely having a workout. He wanted me to let everybody know that. And they're going to be putting their season tickets on sale. I think he said in the next couple of weeks, those should go live as far as going on sale. So that's the commissioner plug from one of his owners, wanting to make sure you guys knew everything that was going on with everything there.
Yeah. So tickets going to be on sale. Visit the website. Camps or tryouts are coming. Organization, there's life. Football. You can't have football without Texas. And when you think of Texas, you think of Dallas. So hopefully we can get everything situated and we get the tickets out so the fans get out there and purchase their tickets for the 2026 season. Commission.
Well, hold on, Jim. I'm going to give you one more. Sorry, I'm popping in your comments to answer a question for you. Brian asked the question about the other 3 times. So, Brian, just so you guys know, anybody that's watching this, how a schedule gets put together, we have to go off the dates that are provided as well as the things. So, for not only providing games for teams that are available, so you guys in Louisiana would have that availability on the 13th, obviously, week there. If there's another team that it makes logical sense for the teams to play each other, we'd rather do that than just to have something elaborate be done to not be smart for the league. So, I don't know if there are any others that have the 3 games. There might be. I don't remember off the top of my head. Obviously, working with 9 teams, I don't believe there were. But this is one that just because how the scheduling went, it kind of worked. I know sometimes people do ask that scheduling question, and it all comes down to home dates and things of that nature. I mean, 3 bye weeks would be because, quite honestly, there was a week that anybody could have seen what we were working with. There was a week we were worried we weren't even going to have a game possibly because we didn't have dates. So it all comes down to arena availability. We'd love, honestly, to run 10 straight weeks or 11 straight with 1 bye and call it a season. But we have to work with the arenas and what's best for the organization. So that's a little bit of information, Jim. I know some people don't know that when they watch, just so they kind of understand it's not just sitting back, picking a bunch of teams and saying, I want to see this team play that team. It doesn't even work that way because, let's be honest, some people on here would say they want to see the same two teams play at least 4 times just because of the competition. So we definitely want to do it the right way.
Well, again, competition, and sometimes it's just beneficial for travel too. And they're only 3 hours apart, so
Correct.
And it helps the bottom dollar at times.
Correct.
So, commish/intern coach for just a second. We'll go into the next segment of the show after this. When we're wrapping up the last 3 teams, the Liberty, the Rougaroux, and the Omaha Beef wrap up the show for the 2026 schedule reveal. We'll be back after this with a legendary coach of the Salina Liberty. Oh, I still have the commissioner. But no further ado, a legend of the game, 2-time champion. He is a specialist at turning around organizations to become just organizations that win titles. He's had multiple postseason appearances, and the last time he's met an organization in our league, he won the championship with against the Omaha Beef in 2022. No further ado is the head coach of the Salina Liberty, Heron O'Neill. Coach, welcome. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I really thank you for having me. This is pretty exciting stuff, how we do these reveals.
Well, sometimes that's the trend now. Like everyone starts doing reveals, so you have to do everything. But I'm glad that you had the time to join the show to talk about the Liberty, talk about the schedule. Let's get into the more in depth of the schedule before we reveal it. Everyone knows the rekindle rivalries between Sioux City and Omaha, but you guys developed over the last couple of years a in-state rival with Southwest Kansas. So you get to keep that rivalry together going, but you have ability to face other teams this year in the NAL. But bringing the mentality from the Liberty back or into the NAL this year, what you expect for the 2026 season?
Well, our goals never change. We keep them pretty simple, pretty right to the point. We come in to win a championship. That's what we come to do. We know it's a lot of different things that have to go and be put in place to make that happen. But every year it's championship or bust. So it's no different year. It's just the only thing that's different about the year is the date on it, 26th season.
Well, I'm getting fact checked, by the way, in the chat by the Omaha Beef owner.
Of course, always.
I got the wrong year. I do apologize. So that was an instant fact check by Ricky, right there.
Yeah, know how that goes.
But that's the sorry, 2023, 2022. Sorry, Ricky, my bad. Grayson, you have a question you want to ask? Let us know. This is a segment for the Salina Liberty, so you have an opportunity to ask the question. Coach, with that, let's reveal your schedule for the 2026 season. And just like everyone else's schedule, I guarantee some intriguing matchups that will entice fans to get tickets, where you can get tickets right now or visit SalinaLiberty.com or Tony's Pizza Center for tickets. Here's your schedule for the 2026 season. And the season starts off with a little bit of a double bye league action. But again, fans remember non-league games could be added for the 2026 season. So there possibly of a game in there. The first NAL game is home against the Omaha Beef. And then a matchup that I'm intrigued to watch is Coach Shaw and the Colorado Spartans travel to Salina to take on the Liberty. And of course, on week 5, home against the Punishers. Week 6, bye week. Week 7, the rekindle of the rivalry with the Sioux City Bandits on week 7, April 17th, 20th. Week 8, a matchup against you guys have been battling each other, seems like 50 times in 2 years with the Southwest Kansas Storm. Week 9, you travel to Louisiana, followed by a revisit to the Southwest Kansas Storm. Week 11 against traveling to Amarillo. Week 12 is the final home game of the 2026 season against the Sioux City Bandits, and you travel to Colorado the final week of the season. Coach, interesting matchups. Got the double bye action early, but hey, it's how the schedule is. But pretty balanced. What games stand out to you, and what games that for you, especially your fans, what do you think your fans are looking forward to with this schedule?
Well, I know they're definitely, like you said, they're waiting for the Omaha, Sioux City, Southwest Kansas games. And it's good to be back in the league that we do play those guys. But I'm also looking forward to the new rivalries that may take place. I'm looking forward to going with Colorado. They're doing some big things down that way. Tony has a great program. Coach Shaw's a great coach. I'm looking forward to competing against them as well. Miss Lisa down there with the Pueblo team, she's putting together a really good football squad, got some really good coaches down that way. The Warbirds, definitely looking forward to going against Coach Blakely again. We went against him a couple of times earlier on in the season, our previous league. So playing Louisiana. My mom is from Louisiana, so always looking to get back down that way. And it'll be, I think it's out there by Shreveport. So a lot of my cousins will be at that game. So very excited about that as well. So if you ask me which game, I would say all of them. They bring a little bit of fire to me for different specific reasons.
Well, you've been in the industry for a long time, so you've run into some of these arenas with other teams that used to play there, but there's some history, especially in the Midwest area with all these matches, especially you with your track record of going to, Billings and Colorado and multiple stops, and you established in Salina, the old CIF. You've played most of these cities, and you know how these fan bases can react. So I think there'd be some intriguing matchups for this season. And again, I mentioned I think it's going to be an intriguing matchup. Everyone's talking about Omaha and Southwest Kansas. I'm looking for that Week 4 matchup when you guys take on the Spartans at home.
Absolutely, and like I said, they have a great program. This league is loaded from top to bottom with great coaches, great players, great ownership groups. Very, very happy to get back to some of the rivalries. Like I said, just having everything in the Midwest the way they have it, all the teams are right there, was something very intriguing for us. So I'm just excited. I'm ready to get started. We just started our recruiting. We getting all that stuff going. Coach Jermaine Hampton is going to be joining me to be my defensive coordinator. He's a friend from Chicago that played, 5 years in the NFL. He was the head coach for Shreveport there for a little bit last year. He coached with the Iowa Barnstormers as well. So I'm very, very excited to get to work with him. We've been doing a lot of mapping and planning and doing the behind the scenes things, recruiting and just, playing chess with one another, basically my offense against his defense, and just getting different strategies together. So to get that on my coaching staff, I haven't had that in a while, so I'm very, very excited about that as well.
Coach, where can the fans reach out to you for ticket information, upcoming events, and are there any tryouts in the near future for the Liberty?
Yes, we'll be playing again at TPEC, Tony's Pizza Event Center. I was told from the press conference, Ian is the GM there, that it should be around Thanksgiving. We should be able to get season ticket sales going. I'm very excited about that. We do have an open workout October 11th from 9 to 11:30 a.m. at the Salina Fieldhouse. Looking for all positions, looking to see some great talent. It's an opportunity. I've been there. This will be my 8th year coming back to Salina. And each year that I've been there, a lot of people always ask, when are we going to have a workout? So, the people in the community can get some players out there that they can relate to. Here's your opportunity. We have a flyer that's on the NAL webpage. We're going to have another flyer that's going to be put up on our webpage at salinaliberty.com. You can also go to Salina Liberty Facebook page and check out things that different events that's coming up that way. I know October 10th, we have our big annual golf tournament that we have that definitely all the sponsors come out and have a good time, play a couple rounds of golf. So a lot of exciting things are happening in Salina. Looking forward to everybody being at that golf tournament, as well as if you want an opportunity to earn a roster spot, We still have plenty of contracts out there ready for players that are hungry and have the ambition to play some professional football here October 11th.
You're a golfer there, Coach?
I used to be before I hurt my shoulder. So I'm not as big into the golf thing, but I will be at the golf tournament. So all my Liberty fans, Coach Jermaine Hampton and I will be there with our ownership group. I love and I enjoy being in the carts. The driving piece is what hurts me. You know, I can putt pretty decently. My short game is pretty good. But when I try to go kill something on those drives, that's where the pain comes into my shoulder. So I don't golf as much as I used to.
I was going to say, we can get some NAL putt-putt action through all the organizations or do something like that. I'm like you. It's like when I play golf, it's just what hits me first, a low score or beer. Beer hits me first because I
Oh,
stink
yeah.
at golf.
That always makes anything you're doing a little bit more fun when you have a couple cocktails.
That's for sure, Coach. I appreciate it, Coach, for joining today's episode. We'll have you on a future episode going in depth more with the Liberty organization here in the next couple of weeks. So we'll keep in contact. But again, I appreciate you joining. And I look forward to covering you and your organization and for the 2026 season.
Thanks again for having us.
Appreciate it. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're down to 2 teams. And of course, we have to bring in one of the newer individuals of the NAL. He is the new head coach for the Louisiana Rouxgaroux. They're in Shreveport, Louisiana, none other than head coach Michael Blair. Coach, welcome back to Inside the Hall Spot. You were here, was it last week? I think it was when you were here?
Yeah, last week. Yep.
So, well, let's get all the information out. Upcoming tryouts. I know we talked about this. If I think I'm right, it's October 18th. Am I correct?
October 18th, yes, sir, at the D1 training facility in Shreveport, Louisiana.
And fans can reach out to for ticket information, upcoming events at where?
Yep. Season tickets are on sale now. You can reach out to Kimberly Jacks, Director of Operations at KimberlyLouisianaRouxgaroux.com, and she can fill you in on all ticket sales, everything.
Well, last year we did a schedule reveal, and if you go watch the old episode, and a lot of our fans can do so, we mispronounced the heck out of the Rouxgaroux's name like tremendously. As the season progressed, we learned the pronunciation for the team. So at least this year, I know the proper pronunciation of the organization. As you know, ladies and gentlemen, it's a 13-week season, a 10-game season. And the Rouxgaroux, I know this. You were on the organization last year. You're now the head guy for the Rouxgaroux. What are you looking forward to the 2026 season? I know there's a interesting matchup that they want to, project with the 2 owners are bickering at each other behind the scenes, and that's the Dallas Bulls. I think it's the I-20 clash. I think the name is going to happen between you and Bulls. You play each other 3 times, but any matchups you're looking forward to for the 2026 season before we reveal the schedule for the Rouxgaroux?
Man, really, I mean, obviously the Dallas, the owners, they're going back and forth with each other. But I'll say all of them. Everybody, nobody knows us. We're a whole new coaching staff, whole new ownership group. We're coming in as the underdogs, and I want teams to know who we are. We're going to put Louisiana on the map.
Well, I on my notes, I said key games, the I-20 clash between the Dallas Bulls, but also the first game. You're home against the Warbirds. That's your first game as a head coach. So it's always the first game to get the first impression for your fans and what the organization is. Are you looking forward to finally, when all the selling's done, all the offseason recruiting is done, when you actually get the chance to be on the field and the coach?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited for those guys to come in. I met them in Las Vegas. Great group of guys. We're just going to go out there and show them what we can do. I hope they're ready for us.
But that, ladies and gentlemen, here is the 2026 schedule for the Rouxgaroux. The 2026 season opens up with back-to-back, a doubleheader home weekend, week 1 and week 2 against the Warbirds and the Storm, followed by the first bye week of the season in week 3. Week 4 starts a 2 out of 3 road games with a bye week in between. Week 4 at Amarillo, week 5 bye week 6 at Pueblo. Then you're home against Dallas. The first meeting of 3 matchups against the Dallas Bulls. Week 7, week 9 is the final road game. And then the final 5 games of the season is a little road challenge with 2 home games, especially week 9 against the Salina Liberty. Then they stretch Beef, Bulls, and Storm in week 10 through week 12. And you wrap up week 13 against the Dallas Bulls to probably either a sweep, tie the series, because it's game 3 against the Bulls. Your schedule that is out there for the Rougaroux fan who are in attendance. What's the game that you're looking forward to? Circle it out. Let us know. Here is your 2026 schedule. How you do? What do you think, Coach? What stands out to you?
Well, I see the back end of the schedule. It looks like 3 away games back to back. That's always challenging for any team, but we're ready for it. And Kansas, I mean, going up to see Kansas, I was stationed in Kansas, so I know a lot of talent that's up there. I know how they are. I know how they ball up there. So looking forward to that as well.
Well, and usually the chat's been, well, actually it's Brian. He's a resident super fan of the Rougaroux. He corrected. It's the I-20. I think I said a different highway. I do apologize. But it's the I-20 clash. We already had the tryout camps on the 18th. Any player signings yet, or that's soon to be announced?
Oh, that's I can say it's coming very, very soon. Just be ready for it. We're gonna. It's coming. I don't want to put too much out there for anybody. It's coming very soon.
Well, Coach, we already mentioned, follow it, Louisiana Rougaroux on all social media platforms. I do think you guys have a TikTok. I think it did pop up recently. Twitter, X, and all those. Follow the Rougaroux for up-to-date information. Also, thenationalringleague.com for any of the. Coach, you were here on. If you want more in-depth of the Louisiana Rougaroux, please watch our last week's episode, whole episode dedicated to the organization, from the ownerships to the what's operations and what's ahead. Previous episode Inside the Walls podcast to get more information about the Louisiana Rougaroux. Coach, appreciate you joining the show. I know it's the back end of the episode. Thank you for waiting. But hey, first year, first coach, week 1, March 6th against the Warbirds. I don't know. Blink of an eye, I'll be here, Coach. That's why I said, I was like, man, this season's going to take forever. And blink of an eye, I'm like, oh, crap, I'm already previewing another year.
Yeah, we're right here. It's coming.
But with that, Coach, I really do appreciate joining. Be well, be safe. And to the Rougaroux fans, get your tickets now. Visit Rougaroux.com for more ticket information. Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Well, we had to do an episode. And how we did the episode for this year is last year we did, towards the end, the defending champions of the league. Unfortunately, only the team that remains in our league played in the title game. But before we bring in the next head coach, we're not going to talk about his food experiences in the lovely city of Omaha. This guy posts more food reviews than any other coach. He's in the green screen laughing. If you follow him on social media, you know the reason why. The guy visited more steak restaurants and makes me go, man, I just want to go to Omaha just to visit steak restaurants. But no further ado, other than a friend of the show, he's been on multiple shows here on Inside the Walls, especially over the years, for multiple organizations. No other than head coach Brandon Negron.
What's up, Jim? How you doing?
Oh, I'm doing good, Coach. Surprised you're not doing any. You're not at a restaurant?
No, I ate at home tonight. I made a home cooked meal. So, although I will say, Tuesday nights our post game partner Winchester's has $7.99 cheeseburgers. So it was hard to fight that off, but we got the show tonight, so I wanted to stay focused and come home.
I don't know. Every time you post on social media, there's something that pops. I'm like, where's he at now? And it's funny, is because there's a super fan there that used to be on the show. He says, have you seen where Nervous, like, we can literally have a map of where you've been throughout the city of Omaha.
Oh, I'm not done yet. There's plenty of places I haven't visited. Trust me, when the 2026 season is over, I'll have doubled or tripled my food experiences in Omaha. There's a lot of good restaurants out here.
Yeah, so it's, again, Well, what I think is what Ricky and the organization does. You only go to the restaurants that sponsor the beef. So, hey,
It certainly doesn't hurt. So
it was just
we'll
good
take the
business.
shameless plug from inside the walls. If you want me to eat at your restaurant, give us a call. 402-346-2333.
I got a packet of ramen. Is that good?
Hey, I've
But
eaten ramen too. Listen, I got 7 kids. There's a lot of ramen in the Negron family.
with that, Coach, welcome to the show. Schedule comes out. The final schedule for the 2026 reveal. Renewed rivalries with the Liberty and the Storm. Next chapter in the I-29 rivalry. What are you looking forward to 2026? I know 2025 didn't end the way you wanted it as a coach, but you got to admit, a couple of epic games in the season, including getting into the playoffs and the postseason. But you've already made some interesting player signings over the past couple of weeks. So you can visit beeffootball.com for more information on who they have signed so far. Some great talented players, some Omaha legends, you can say, as they've been in the organization for a couple of years now. I also like your offensive coordinator. He's a pretty cool dude. So I think that's going to be a good addition. But tryouts, Coach, tickets availability. This is your time to sell the Omaha Beef.
Yeah, so you can certainly get tickets now. You can go to beeffootball.com or you can call us at the office again, 402-346-2333. Player tryouts will be October 25th. We'll be hosting our tryouts in Council Bluffs, Iowa, which is right over the state line at our practice facility. Look, lots of opportunities still to join the longest standing indoor football franchise in the country. So I encourage players that haven't gotten a hold of me or haven't had the ability to showcase their talents to come to the tryout. Look, I've got a long standing history of signing guys from tryouts and those guys making an impact on teams that I coach. And I know Coach Kane and Coach Loftus and Coach Marty all feel the same way. We love hidden gems. Corel Colmoose is an example of that. So came through a tryout, and he's been a member of this team going on his 3rd year. So tryouts October 25th. Got a coach's show at Goose's Bar and Grill on Saturday. We'll do a special episode where we'll talk about the future of the franchise and tryouts and what our expectations are and stuff. But business as usual, man. Right back at it. There's no off season in Omaha. And we have some amends to make. So I'm looking forward to seeing the schedule and seeing what the path to avenge that 2025 championship looks like.
That's for sure. Without further ado, let's wrap up the final schedule release for the Omaha Beef. Week 1 is a league bye. Then week 2, you open up against the Pueblo Punishers. Week 3, week 4, those renewed rivalries between the old foes of the Salina Liberty and the Southwest Kansas Storm. Week 5 is the traditional I-29 rivalry, game 1 of that. Week 6 bye. Week 7, traveling to the Colorado Spartans, which has been one of the most intriguing matchups between you two organizations over the last year. That was some of the most exciting games in the NAL last year. Week 8 at Dallas. Week 8 home against Dallas. Week 9 at the Warbirds. Week 10 home against Louisiana Rouxgaroux. Week 11 at the Sioux City Bandits. And wrapping up the regular season, week 12 home against the Spartans. And then the bye week in week 13 could be beneficial, could be nice. I don't know. That can lead into some much needed rest for a postseason push. Coach, what stands out to you in your 2026 schedule?
Well, first off, we will have a preseason game. So for our fans, we'll host a preseason game March 7th. So I'll just throw that out there. Look, I think this is the best the league has ever looked. I've said that a lot in these last couple of weeks, especially when I got to spend some time with Commissioner Ikard last week, announcing Salina at Southwest Kansas. It's a gauntlet, no matter whose schedule you look at. And I think the level of coaching in the league this year is some of the best I've ever seen. coaching against guys like Heron O'Neill and Gary Thomas, knowing what they did in the other league that they're coming from, these guys are true professionals. Sioux City's always going to bring it. Coach Lowe, Coach Irv, always going to bring it. Everybody knows about my history with Coach Shaw. We've had some battles against each other over the years, going back to when he was in San Antonio and I was in Carolina. So I mean, there's no one on this schedule that I'm overlooking. I'm only really looking at week 2 right now, which is our from a regular season standpoint. That's our first game, and I know where Coach Solo just came from. And I don't feel good about that. So I'm looking forward to getting on the field and allowing my team the opportunity to start the Avenge Tour. We don't like the way the season ended, so can't wait to get back in the Slaughterhouse on March 14th for the regular season. But again, we got a game March 7th in the Slaughterhouse too. So this is a great schedule. I think that the whole show's been great. I love seeing the different coaches and their philosophies and what they're doing. I'm excited for the 2026 season.
Oh, we do have some fan comments, as you see. Well, again, Solo chimed in a couple of times. Those interesting matchups where his former team, he coached for. The matchups against Coach Shaw, especially towards the end of the year, were some epic showdowns for playoff positioning. It came down to 2 plays in the last regular season game to see who determined to have home field advantage. And then the playoff game was as epically as good as the last game of the regular season. If you go, ladies and gentlemen, if you go want to watch back last season, watch that gauntlet that Omaha had to go through to just get to the championship game. That's impressive. Even though the title didn't come to Omaha, still what you had to go through last year was a feat on its own.
No, I appreciate that, Jim, but there's no moral victories. I came here to bring multiple championships to Omaha. I want the damn trophy. So we just need to get started. I'm ready to play football. Again, there's just so many great coaches in the league and the direction that the league is moving in. I think this is going to be one of the most competitive seasons yet.
Most competitive season, yeah. I really do believe that. I'm surprised a certain fan hasn't chimed in on here with the Omaha Beef. He usually does. He might probably message me behind the scenes, but I do have a question. This is from the co-host of mine, Jeff, who is currently working. He wants to know when's the Coach Negron Foodie YouTube series going to begin, and he wants to know where is it going to be your first place you go.
Well, I won't be doing food reviews full time until I retire. And if anybody's seen some recent posts, I have plans on being the longest tenured coach in Omaha Beef football history. So retirement is nowhere close. That being said, I will do my fair share of restaurant visits. And, look, we're going to Amarillo. There's that 72-ounce steak challenge that I really want to dive into. So I'll admit I'm excited about that trip. But there's food everywhere, man. I can't think about food when I'm thinking about winning football games. But we'll try to find a balance and just tell Jeff to keep watching my social media, and he can get jealous every time I go out to eat.
72 ounces. Wow, that's
it's pretty exciting. It's the big Texan, I think, or something like that.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
But again, fans, that is your wrap up of the 2026 schedule. We've already did the tryouts. And the tryouts are, if I remember, they are in the Iowa West Sports Complex.
Yep, Iowa West Sports Complex, Council Bluffs. Again, right over the state line. It's about 8 minutes from Omaha. Not even.
8 minutes over Omaha. Well, Coach, I appreciate you chiming in. I know you jumped on way early of the episode, almost 2 hours.
I don't trust technology, so I had to make sure it'll work.
Well, you can trust it now. You're good to go there, Coach. I appreciate you joining.
Appreciate you, Jim.
Appreciate it.
All right.
With that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm super zen. Let me back out so I'm not into the camera there, ladies and gentlemen. Please follow all social media platforms of the National Arena League at NAL Football on Twitter, X, and Facebook and Instagram. We will be having polls popped up, fan promotion polls of upcoming games. What is your favorite game to attend? What you're looking forward to the 2026 seasons? What type of storylines that you want to get into? And you can follow all of that at thenationalarenaleague.com. And also, we hinted it multiple times. The National Arena League is now on TikTok. Yes, we're on TikTok at NAL Football. Go follow us there. That's going to start popping off here pretty soon for the 2026 seasons, as we'll get multiple organizations involved for player interviews. We'll do specific things just for TikTok, so you have in-depth interviews and more for future planning, especially for the 2026 season. And remember, NALshop.com is live. Get all your merch of the National Arena League at NALshop.com. And visit all the league's operations at the nationalarenaleague.com. And of course, for everyone here, the 2026 schedule is officially out, and there it is, all 9 organizations. And remember, the bye weeks in your schedule could have potential of non-league games. As you know, Coach Negron announced week 7, March 7th, there's a game, a non-league opponent for the Omaha Beef. So that can lead to more games into the venues. Remember, fans, get your tickets now at all of the organizations. Go visit their websites of their choosing. And of course, visit nationalarenaleague.com. All the stuff, all the content you see on here is shareable. You are welcome to use it because you got to keep up to date with the NAL, and you got to know what games are on in each week. What games are you looking forward to the 2026 season? What games are you anticipating to be epic matchups? Polls will be dropping. Questions will be dropping. Be more interactive. Next week, we'll have a league announcement. The commissioner of the NAL will rejoin us. I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to be an interesting announcement. Don't want to give it out what it is. But please tune in next week. We're moving forward. We're going to be as much transparent as we are as an organization, as a league this year. And again, send the questions in, send the messages in. We read everything. Again, your input can help betterment the National Arena League. For all of us here in the National Arena League and to our 9 organizations, I am Jim Renier, the host of Inside the Walls podcast here for the National Arena League. And with me and to you, be well, be blessed, be safe, and happy new league year in the National Arena League. For that, we'll see you next week for more Inside the Walls podcast.